Growing up on a farm and seeing my grandparents' planes take off every day amazed me. Going to my first air show, that blew my mind because I saw planes much bigger than a Cessna take off and land.
I went to Embry-Riddle to become a commercial pilot and took a few courses in airport and airline management. And that kind of opened my outlook and got me more interested in the regulatory and the management side of the industry.
Worked in transit for about 8 years before I joined aviation, and it really opened my eyes to the interconnectivity, multimodalism, and that's how I kind of got my exposure to aviation and granted the opportunity for me to be a part of where I am today.
The experience that led me on to my career path in aviation was my first ever flight in a single-engine piston Grumman Prowler.
I was fortunate when I was in college completing my undergrad to be able to do an internship for the County of Monroe for the communications department, and while I was there I got to experience a lot of other departments throughout the county, one of which was the airport, where I was able to write the release for AirTran Airways when they started service here, help with the launch event, and I got a chance to meet the airport director.
In my junior year at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, I took an airport management course taught by Dr. Dave Byers, and it opened my eyes to the idea of airport management as a career.
One thing I'd like to see for the future of aviation is certainly a PFC increase. But in addition to that, I think that we really have to work on the next generation workforce, and specifically making sure that we have a strong pipeline of females coming into our industry.
I would love to bring aviation awareness to schools and make funding more attainable for students who are interested in aviation, because that will bring more awareness to private aviation, which it brings more money to the economy and communities.
Assisting young people to get in the industry and promoting their development is extremely crucial, and providing different on-ramps into the industry for students beyond airport operations, beyond airport maintenance, and finding different ways to promote the growth of those students and young professionals throughout the industry.
I'd also like to see the partnerships between airports and airlines continue to grow to where airports are in line. I think there's a lot of times that airports and the business the actual driver of a business within the airport space sometimes is at odds with what airlines are trying to accomplish.
For the future of aviation, I would like to see the general public regain the excitement and appreciation of flight that existed not so long ago.
What's the most overlooked issue facing airports today? The economic impact of our airports to our local communities is the most overlooked issue at our airports today. We face complaints day after day about our airports, about the services that are offered at our airports. But the economic impact that we bring to our communities far exceeds many of the other modes that are considered.
The most overlooked issue facing airports today is the need for long-term FAA funding.
The most overlooked issue in airports today is the looming pilot shortage and its impact on air service at small and medium-sized airports. These airports already have to try twice as hard to get half as much as their larger counterparts.
The future of aviation is going to require flexible facilities. The aircraft is getting larger. The amount of people in the terminals is also getting larger, and we are only going to need more power for the amenities. So the facilities are really going to have to be flexible to accommodate all of those needs.
Well, I think there are probably a couple of airports that would like to see an increase in the PFCs. I think a decision on air traffic management would probably help create a little bit of stability in the industry, but I couldn't say that either of these issues is very overlooked.
I grew up in a family of aviators, and I thought that growing up I didn't always really want to get into the aviation industry, and I ended up going to school for business and finance, and somehow that experience brought me back to aviation, and I now get to work in aviation every day.
I actually like to DJ, so it's a hobby of mine, and when I do have time, I find listening to music and DJing very therapeutic.
In addition to my passion for aviation, I also enjoy capturing the moment through photography and videography.
An interesting thing about myself is that last year I started a small business selling home decor and crafts made of items that would otherwise be recycled.
I love to go out into nature. I love to walk 40 miles into the middle of nowhere and set up camp. Why? Because when I see a mountain, if I want to conquer it, all I have to do is start walking.
One interesting thing about me is my first job during airport operations, I got to lead a portion of a presidential motorcade.
Aviation has always been my passion. When you work in an industry you're passionate about, it's never a job and always fun.